The red pill, the cure to burnout, mental fatigue, and depression. Not all afflictions and diseases have symptoms that can easily be observed with the naked eye or the obvious telltale signs we're familiar with, such as headaches, nausea, vomiting, physical pain, and a host of other symptoms as it's listed on the back of every medicine pack. It's funny how those medicine packs also have a million side effects. It's like here, this medicine will cure your fever, but it might also give you any of these 50 or more dangerous diseases. I digress. Today, we will be discussing a major part of mental health. We'll be discussing mental well-being and mindfulness, to be more specific. A silent killer with a scope wide enough to cover almost everyone. It is as silent as crickets and as subtle as the approaching dawn. Impossible to detect without conscious and deliberate peering. The side effects of mental well-being manifest in many states of consciousness. However, we will be focusing on the negative states of mind. The subtle yet very destructive feelings such as feeling demotivated, hopelessness, feeling tired and burned out, stressed and overwhelmed. To be mindful of your state of mind is to be aware of what is going on in your body, in your feelings, in your mind, and in the world. Breathe in deeply to bring your mind home to your body. Thich Nhat Hanh. The feeling of carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders or feeling like your head is so full. No new information is getting through. These are the feelings that don't physically hurt, but are just as destructive as the most painful. Physical injuries, because the human being is half physical and half mental. The human being is an organic machine operating in two worlds simultaneously. These worlds are the physical world, which consists of the outer world and conscious experiences, and we also have the mental world, which is the mind, thoughts, emotions, the unconscious and subconscious mind. Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakens. Carl Jung. The human being is, by default, not 100% if either half is not functioning optimally. Mental issues, if left unchecked, are often catastrophic to any person's functionality and productivity, especially when they are trying to integrate into any society as a normal human beings, because it alters your perspective of reality and general outlook of life. Lucky for you, at least with regards to the negative state of mind afflictions mentioned earlier. You don't have to take any medicine with a million side effects. You already have the cure inside of you. Sounds cliche, but when you think about it, isn't that more confirmation that it's true? I mean, there must be some truth to it if everyone's saying it is. The road to the cure that is already inside of you is paved with meditation and mindfulness. The red pill. This is where you find true balance from within. There are always two sides to a coin. In order to breathe, you need to inhale and exhale, and to be present and in the moment, you need to leave the past and not chase the future, because those two destinations are where all your problems lie. The past gives you an identity, and the future holds the promise of salvation and of fulfillment in whatever form. Both are illusions. Eckhart Tolle. Like the sides to a coin, we exist in two worlds simultaneously in the mind. There's the physical world we see in our waking conscious moments, and the world existing in the mind that comes alive once the eyes are shut and attention is turned inwards. The latter is a very hostile environment. It has a storm that has been raging from the moment you came into the world. These are the inner and outer worlds in the mind, and harmony between both worlds is required to access the human being's full potential. Mindfulness is about being fully awake in our lives. It is about perceiving the exquisite vividness of each moment. We also gain immediate access to our own powerful inner resources for insight, transformation, and healing. John Kabat-Zinn. To quiet the storm in a world filled with noise, distractions, and constant stimulation, we need to, every now and then, go in the mind and get to work. Closing your eyes and daydreaming while trying to fall asleep does not count. You need to be deliberate and focused to weather the raging storm in the mind. For centuries, meditation has proven to be one of the most effective practices to gaining control of the mind and inside world. To keep the mind from jumping from one thing to the other, from experiences and regrets of the past to the plans and expectations of the future, not to mention the constant bombardment of stimulations from the outside world. You have to take control of the mind and learn to tame it like the wild animal it is. The mind is a busy intersection with thoughts, ideas, feelings, and memories going in every direction. You need to learn to control the traffic to avoid congestion and costly accidents. It is like a storm with very strong winds blowing in all directions. It takes a little time to create a gap between the witness and the mind. Once the gap is there, you are in for a great surprise, that you are not the mind, that you are the witness, a watcher. And this process of watching is the very alchemy of real religion. Because as you become more and more deeply rooted in witnessing, thoughts start disappearing. You are, but the mind is, utterly empty. That's the moment of enlightenment. That is the moment that you become for the first time an unconditioned, sane, really free human being. Osho. They say only a monk can think of nothing. I don't know how true that statement is, but what I do know is that statement is a testament to the power of meditation. The practice of meditation is essential to the mind, the mental part of the human machine, especially considering the times we are in. As human beings, there's no other point in our history where we have been bombarded with so many artificial distractions and unnatural stimulations as in the last few decades. In this current crisis, it is even more important to adopt the practice of meditation because it helps, amongst other things, organize the traffic in the mind, eliminate stress, anxiety, and depression, relieve high blood pressure, reduce mental fatigue, and improve overall mood and well-being. Another factor is that it widens your perspective and introduces you to the world on the inside, where every human knows the location, but many seldom visit. Meditation is a fairly easy practice, and the process can be accomplished in 3 steps. Firstly, sitting comfortably or lying down and trying to be as calm and relaxed as possible. The second step is closing the eyes. This is to completely focus on the inside and center the mind to become more present and in the moment. Lastly, simply breathe and observe the chaos going on the inside. With some focus and consistency, eventually, you'll learn to control the flow of the mind traffic. Imagine it like a busy intersection in a thunderstorm of thoughts, feelings, and unconscious motivations. To control it, first, you need to observe it and see the extent of the chaos and entanglement. Eventually, you'll learn to direct the flow of the traffic, one thought at a time. The objective is to focus and remain in the now, the present, devoid of any attachment from the past or future. And whenever that focus is disrupted by the storm, simply go back to maintaining your focus. And in time, you will start realizing how intrusive and disruptive the mind can get with unwanted distractions, notwithstanding the fact that you are consciously and deliberately trying to focus at that moment. It's like the more you're trying to focus, the more susceptible you become to distractions. Unlike the distractions of the outside world, which are often visible and in your face, the distractions and afflictions in the mind come from the unconscious and cannot be seen or cured unless they are deliberately sought after and dealt with, or they morph into feelings like demotivation, hopelessness, feeling burnt out, stressed, and overwhelmed. When dealing with mental well-being or the afflictions of negative states of mind, give meditation 5 to 10 minutes of your time and see what happens. Do that at least before the antidepressants. The essential factors in meditation are patience is maintaining focus and consistency. The rest happens automatically. Get on the journey and trust the process.